I'm already calling you out. For a lot of you, you're getting a fresh start, but I feel like it's actually kind of away from someone. So for those of you who are, we will do a singles love reading, okay? But I actually feel like for a lot of you, if you're connected to someone, you're both kind of closed off to each other at the same time. And I feel like this hasn't happened ever in this connection. I feel like this is a collective that is guarded or closed off to someone because there's a part of you that just feels more peaceful being guarded or closing yourself off. And there's a part of you that feels like, okay, this is actually going to give me optimism towards a new beginning, towards a new chapter in my life. It feels healing. It feels healing to allow yourself to accept the truth of something in order to be able to have the fresh start that we talked about. That fresh start energy. This is the energy of like all that could be, all that is to come. And the reason why we get to this place is because for a long time, there were a lot of disappointments in this relationship, this situation, to the extent where it really drained you of your hope and optimism. And in order for you to feign hope and optimism here, it took a lot out of you. And I feel like a lot of you got sick of having to inflate this, like to create enthusiasm where there wasn't any, to create positivity where there wasn't any. That felt like it was very draining and depleting. And I feel a lot of you were like, okay, well, I'm going to put energy in something. I'm going to put energy into my goddamn fresh start. I'm going to put energy into my new world, my new chapter. I'm going to put energy into what makes me feel peaceful and at ease, not something that makes me feel detached or guarded or something that makes me feel disappointed, right? What else do we need to know about this? What is this collective experiencing right now in terms of this connection specifically? Some of you are dealing with an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Some of you have made a decision about this earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. That you're going to focus on your well-being. Yeah, that you're going to focus on your well-being. That you're going to do what feels grounding to you. You're going to do what feels like it creates stability in your life. You're going to do what you feel will incur growth and expansion. This is the energy of like the seasons changing. Damn. That's what this is. Some of you have been feeling this coming for some time. The season has changed here. Because for a long time, I feel like you were hanging on this person's every word or the connection. And like the only way you would feel happy or fulfilled or at peace would be if you saw that there was growth or movement here. But I feel like that's not the case anymore. I feel like for a lot of you, you don't care as much anymore. And it's just because you naturally have allowed yourself time and space to heal. This is the energy of like new chapters, fresh starts. Spring has sprung. Feeling like you're excited about the growth you experience. Feeling better than you have in a long time. Feeling like you're taking care of yourself, taking care of your health. You feel rested, refreshed. You're getting better sleep. Okay, you're looking better. You're drinking more water. You're eating better. You're actually returning your friends' messages because you're not doom scrolling on TikTok or like in a shame spiral about what could have been. You're just living a better quality of life. This is like shaking out the stagnant energy and opening up to this new expansive energy. I like to see it. And this feels like freedom. Freedom to explore new opportunities. I feel like the two of you are actually closed off, and it feels like it's almost like mutual. It's very interesting how this shows up. I don't feel like this person, I'm not to say that this person doesn't care about you. They do care about you still, okay? This is somebody who does feel like they need to apologize to you. There is this energy of feeling like they need to gain your forgiveness. Because I feel for a lot of you, this is somebody who's chosen a path that feels easier for them. Or chosen a path that feels like it's more, obvious to them. And I feel like right now they're just trying to enjoy their life. And I know a lot of you are like, well, I want this person to hate their life. And I just want them to be sitting, with their phone in their hand, just with like one cold, stony tear. Well, I feel for a lot of you got to observe that a little further. Okay, and tune into that to see what's coming up. Because I feel like this is somebody who is trying to enjoy their life, truthfully. They're trying to enjoy their life. And it's not that they don't care. See, here's the part of this reading that's complex and nuanced. And this is the reason why I feel like this has been difficult for you to process. It's not that this person doesn't care and doesn't love you. They do care and they do love you. But I also feel like this is somebody who's basically resolving or resounding themselves to one specific type of life. And they're actually trying to be happy with whatever that is. But that doesn't change the fact that they still care about you. Those two things can exist concurrently. Those two things can exist simultaneously. But for a lot of you, that was hard for you to understand. That was hard for you to understand. It was hard to see that it would be possible for somebody to actually have anything of a positive quality of life outside of you while also not being able to have you in their life. I feel like it's been very painful for you to be like, well, shouldn't they just be miserable without me? yeah, there's a painful experience to not have you in their life, but I also feel like just like this person would wish the best for you, I feel like you need to wish the best for them in this moment. In this moment, okay? I feel for a lot of you, it's about wishing the best for this person because that frees you, because I feel like the only attachment up until this time, or at least in this moment, is based on a need for forgiveness. So if you can wish the best for this person, I feel like in that moment you forgive them. Because once you wish the best for them, all of a sudden they're not some demonized villain that maybe they were created to be in order to justify the hurt that you felt. Damn, we get right into it immediately. Okay, let's get into the lighter part of this reading. What is the energy here on my collective side? What do they need to know? See, y'all thought it was this person's actions required in order to be able to initiate a new beginning. You were like, I want this person to come forward towards me to have a new beginning. That's what you were wanting for a long time. But I feel like you're realizing that that new beginning was yours to have. I feel like you're realizing that the new beginning is yours to take by the reins. I feel like most of you are realizing that that new beginning is you being courageous enough to make a change. You being courageous enough to move towards new opportunities for your damn self, whether this person trails behind you or not. It's like waiting around for someone else to make a decision is very much outside of your character. I feel most of you are constantly evolving and iterating. You've changed so much since you connected with this person. You're not the same person anymore. You haven't been the same person. I feel like just now, that energy at the beginning, that fresh start, this is you having a fresh start because you've gone through this upgrade and you're now realizing how different you are. Most of you have realized this recently. How different that you are from the person you were when you first connected with this person. You ain't the same girl. You ain't the same boy. You ain't the same man or woman or gender non-binary person. You a different bitch. Okay? You have evolved and grown and transformed, and that feels unexpected for you. What else comes with this transformation on my collective side? Dang. This is a lot of detachment. A lot of detachment because you remember all that you've gone through. You might have even recently had an experience in which you've seen the journey, almost like you're experiencing a Rolodex of memories. For those who are born after 1995, a Rolodex is a bunch of note cards or something that has some type of, we'll say like encyclopedic system of different data that's stored in chronological order, okay? A Rolodex of memories, experiences of your entire spiritual awakening and journey. And the spiritual awakening and journey has caused you to realize how far you've come. And to the extent in which you realize that you can actually detach from this and it feels comfortable. It feels comfortable. Dang. Some of you were born in 1995. Some of you, that was a confirmation, 1995, 1999. I'm also getting 1981 specifically, okay? Tell me a little bit more. What do we need to know? What do we need to know about this detachment and what it brings for my collective? No more illusion, no more confusion, feeling more powerful than you ever have felt. This feels good. I feel for a lot of you, there was this Neptune influence here in the energy. This energy of like confusion, staying stuck in something in which you didn't know the answers, prevented you from feeling this spark of excitement or like openness to trusting what could be a spark towards a new path. Because you were spending so much time being like, well, what is this supposed to be? And what will we be? And adios mio, will we be together? And will we love each other forever? And what will be, I don't know what this head thing is, what will be the outcome of us, okay? And I feel for a lot of you, you're like, it is what it is. I accept for what it is. And I feel like that energy is allowing you to actually feel this spark of inspiration towards what is a new chapter that you can now create of your own design. You're not pausing. You're not waiting to reflect. You've done enough of that. You've done so much waiting and so much reflecting. I feel like you're not there anymore. You're not there anymore. Okay? Tell me, what is my collective going to experience? Oh. A reconnection to your emotions. Your emotions. Because I feel for a lot of you, you shut off your emotions when you detach from this person. So maybe you haven't been feeling connected to most things. Recently, it's like hard for you to really feel like you can open your heart because you're guarded to this person. And I feel like it's making you guarded overall in your life to some degree. You're still in that heavy protection mode. That's Cancerian energy. You could be a Cancer, okay? This is energy of like needing to protect yourself, not wanting to do the things you did in the past, not wanting to fall hard for the wrong person or get your hopes up for something that doesn't work out. And I feel like you're learning to fall in love again with that part of yourself. That's where you are. Isn't that beautiful? how that works sometimes. Learning to fall in love again with the part of you that is actually deeply emotionally connected to all things in the most beautiful way. Dang. Okay. What else do we need to know about this? Some of you are healing ancestral wounds. Some of you have a father wound that you're healing at this time. Some of you feel like you have to do better than, or like in spite of your circumstances. There's something here about feeling like a grandmother set an example for you potentially, but wanting to make them proud. Very specific messages coming through. What do we need to know about what is in the future path in love for this collective? Dang. I see new seeds being planted here. For most of you, you're attracting in a masculine energy here. There could be somebody new. Doesn't have to be this person. I feel like for a lot of you, this cycle with this past person is meaning to close right now. It's needing to close. And I feel like this person over here, they will feel a sense of regret in not having this spark in their life, this passion in their life. There's this attempt to be present in their life, to enjoy what they have, like we've said. And I feel like they will miss that excitement. But truthfully, here's the real tea, nothing but the tea. For most of you, this is somebody who chose a life that feels like more boring and predictable because that's their life path. And y'all personalized it thinking, oh, they didn't choose me because it was something wrong with me. When truthfully, I feel like this is somebody who chose boring, mundane, or like predictive because it felt more comfortable for them. And I feel for many of you, you're choosing excitement, expansion, adventure. Like y'all are revolutionary. Your energy feels like you're very much old souls. You've lived many past lives. You're not meant to live a life of sitting behind a screen or essentially being behind a desk or doing things that feel like repetitive tasks. You're meant to be somebody that forges new paths, right? Breaks ground. You're meant to be somebody that does things that are more adventurous or novel or expansive. And I feel like the two of you are just on divergent wavelengths at this time. It feels like you are meant to be free. Exactly. You are meant to be free. And I feel like the more you heal, the less you personalize this person's choice, and realizing that it has a lot more to do with their life than it has to do with you, or that it ever had to do with you, truthfully. Okay? I feel like this is somebody who wanted to be what you saw in them, but that wasn't who they were. Damn. That feels like a big message for some of you, okay? They wanted to be that fun, sexy person you thought they were, but that's not who they were. They weren't a fun, sexy person. This was a boring pencil pusher. This was somebody who was either like boring or, again, somebody who wanted to live a more mundane life. I don't want to like roast them or read them for filth, but definitely somebody who was meant to live more of, we'll say, like a rudimentary existence, okay? And a lot of you thought this person was like, oh, such a hot, sexy person. But you only thought that because they withheld a lot of things from you. The energy was very elusive, right? Mysterious energy, which can sometimes mean you create this identity, this archetype of what you assume to be. But when you actually see that in actuality, it's often not that way. I feel for a lot of you, that's what it was. You projected onto this person, them being this like deviant, right? Like it's like sexy, powerful, and enigma of a mystery of a person, okay? Bad boy or bad girl. When in reality, this is somebody who's, living a pretty rudimentary existence, living a pretty mundane existence. And I don't see that this is somebody who was like a love bomber or narcissistic. Here's the thing. I love you, Steven. Here's the thing. If it was that easy to paint this person as a bad person, you were the good person, then y'all wouldn't be here to get a reading, because that's not an interesting understanding. Like this is an aspect of like spiritual and human existence that requires nuance and depth. No one is inherently bad and no one is inherently good. That's the truth. And I know that's complicated and that's difficult to hold that in your heart and like accept that. But if it was so easy to say this person's bad, then you wouldn't be here listening to this message. You wouldn't care. You'd be like, they're bad. And truthfully, again, there is no bad or good. I feel for a lot of you, it's about recognizing that it's just not right for you, right? Not right for you. And I feel for many of you, the more that you can accept that as something that's empowering, as something that benefits you, the less you feel like you are in this like victim-like place of like, they did this to me. They exacted this revenge on me. They took this action towards me. They lied to me. They did these things. I feel both of you were conscious co-creators of this journey and this relationship. And that you both had your eyes wide open, even if there were certain things you didn't want to see. I feel both of you were actively invested in this relationship and both of you gained things from it. And you are now both closing off because you feel like there's nothing left to gain at this time. Okay? Final advice for this collective. What do they need to know moving forward? Dang. For most of you, you're learning how to take care of yourself. You're learning how to nurture yourself. You're learning how to have compassion for yourself. For a lot of you, you're very good at having compassion for everyone else but yourself. And I feel like this is someone who taught you how to be a better guardian of your own energy. Someone who taught you how to take better care of yourself. Someone who taught you how to set new expectations for yourself. Because when we overgive to someone, it's easy to blame the other person for taking. But we have to be responsible and be a guardian of our own energy. We have to be aware of the implications of what we give and how we express ourselves. And I feel for those of you who are in a relationship with someone who is also unhealed, again, it's not about shaming or blaming. It's about accountability so we can actually grow through this and expand beyond this. And I feel for most of you who are receiving this message, you're not going to sit around and dwell and have a pity party. You've already transcended this. For most of you, you've transcended this. You've moved beyond this. You have grown through this. You have become more powerful in spite of this. And in this moment of recognition and reflection, it feels like you're actually very thankful and grateful. Most of you are in this place in which you're like, I needed somebody to slow me down and I needed someone to mirror back for me things that I needed to heal. Okay? Final advice here. I'm so excited for this collective because I see for many of you as it relates to love, you are feeling that spark come back. You're feeling that excitement come back. You're feeling like you're connecting to a higher purpose. Some of you have a North Node in Aries or you have strong Aries energy. But there is a new purpose here. And it feels like for a lot of you, it's about deepening a level of commitment to yourself and deepening a level of commitment that you could have to the right relationship. Okay? What will the right relationship look like in this collective? Someone who is fully open to receive all of the beautiful love that you have to offer. Most of you, it feels like you spent a lot of your life feeling like no one's ever going to be able to receive what I have to offer. No one's ever going to be able to match my intensity. No one's ever going to be able to shine the same amount of light that I shine. Most of you have felt that way. And that has been a very damaging, limiting belief that has prevented you from attracting in a relationship with someone who really could mirror back all of the beauty that you have. I see that there is going to be a partner in your future. For most of you that you'll meet this year, I'm strongly feeling the month of April for most of you. Someone that's going to be able to receive all of the beautiful love that you have to offer. Okay? And interestingly enough, I feel like this is somebody who comes in after you've already healed from this person. And I don't feel like you'll be missing this person the same way anymore. I feel like by the time this person comes in, this almost starts to become even more distant of a memory. The discomfort around not communicating becomes lessened. All of a sudden, the desire starts to dissipate. It doesn't feel like it has the same pull. It doesn't have the same like yearning energy. It feels like at this time, there's a part of you that just feels at home and grounded and at peace in your own energy. And day in, day out, like as each day passes, you feel even more strongly connected to yourself, which makes you feel less disconnected from this person. Damn. Final advice here for this collective. What do they need to know? So this is an activation of your higher self. Okay, this is an activation of your higher self. What a beautiful new chapter in which you can learn to really own the divinity that is within you and the holy love that you have within you and that you have to give. This is about having the courage to love the way that you were designed to love. Some of you are just now putting yourself back out there, just now beginning to be open to exploring love beyond what this person was to you. For those of you in that cohort, know that it is always worthwhile to love. It is always worthwhile to love. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. I don't care why you did. As long as you love me. No, I'm just kidding. As long as you love. I don't care. As long as you love. Love is always worthwhile. I don't care who you're loving or what you're loving or why you're loving it or how long you're loving them. It is always worthwhile. Hear that. Receive that. Know that. It is always worthwhile to love. And for you, love is an art form. For you, love is an expression of your soul. For you, love is a gift. So why you would temper that, why you would suppress that, why you would repress that, something that's just as true to you as breathing the oxygen that comes from the beauty of the trees, that love you by grounding every step that you take amidst the beauty of the surroundings, fresh air. Love is always going to be true to you. Love will always be part of you. And if you can be brave enough to love in the way that you're designed to love, you will receive that love in return. That is your mission if you choose to accept it. I hope that message was helpful for my collective, sending so much love, positive energy, and abundance. If you enjoy that collective message, tell me you love me, and 1111 down below to let me know that was yours. We are going to do some yes or no questions. Hi, Georgie. Yeah. Let's do a few singles messages. I'm feeling called to do it. We're going to be on this live very late, but guess what? Singles always get the short end of the stick. I love you, Stevie. Let's do a few singles messages. Let's do some fun, sassy singles messages, okay? For those who want singles messages, let me know. Where my singles at? Hi, Douglas. How are you? I miss you. I haven't seen you in a while. How is it on the other side of the world? Singles. Y'all are like, please let me hear about something else other than a dusty, busty, crusty karmic from the past. Ooh. Okay. It's the time of the seasons. Woo. For some of you, when love runs high. For some of you, you are ready to meet the right person, okay? Yeah, maybe you feel like you haven't met anyone you've had a genuine connection with for some time. Thank you, Tiffany. But that is beautiful. But you are feeling like that time could be soon. For some of you, you've been feeling intuitively like someone of a quality or someone that you feel a genuine bond with will be coming in soon. I feel that in this collective. And for a lot of you, you're confident enough to be patient because you've cultivated a quality of life. So as the extent where there's a part of you that's like, if the right person comes forward, I'm going to commit, but I don't want to commit to just anyone. I feel like this is a singles collective that's like, I want to commit to someone that's worthwhile me making sacrifices or prioritizing over all the other amazing things going on in my life. Okay. Dang. Okay, tell me, who is this person my collective is attracting in? Why are the singles reading so much better than the soul connection or separation readings? Yeah, for a lot of you, you are attracting in a higher level partnership. Could specifically be someone that you marry or someone that could be a long-term partner. 1111 energy. This is twin flame energy, soulmate energy. This is the energy of someone that feels like they come into your life at a time in which you're ready to celebrate where you are, right? You're ready to finally reach this like pinnacle of achievement on a personal level. So now you can share that with someone, sharing that with someone else who can celebrate with you. This is this energy of like, I'm so excited to be just present in my life. I'm not looking to the future. I don't need to know what's coming, but like, yes, let's just be here right now. And this feels really good. That's this energy. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. Okay, queens and kings. Tell me about this person. For some of you, this is somebody who's 2 years older than you. I'm getting that this is somebody who has darker hair. I'm seeing brown eyes here. I'm seeing that this is someone who is not shy. Okay, not shy. Very confident, very articulate. And definitely somebody who makes you feel really good. Like someone who makes you feel like you're on top of the world. Someone who's going to give you a lot of positive reinforcement and attention. Myra. Okay, tell me about who this person will be to my collective beyond this. Yeah, I feel like I said, for a lot of you, this is someone who's going to be a long-term relationship. This is destined. This is a destined relationship. Okay? And I feel for many of you, when this person comes in, your instinct... Okay, look, okay, sorry for the jump scare, but look at this. Your instincts are going to tell you that this is destined. What did we just say? Destiny. This is destined. And this is the energy as well of like, you have seeded this destiny through a path, through your darkness, into the light, to be able to share that and find this balance, but then also share that. And like, embark out onto this new chapter with this confidence that comes from knowing who you really are and what you really desire at this time, right? This beautiful energy of like, you found the state of balance within yourself. So you don't need this, but you desire this. That feels peaceful. Like that sends out a resonant sound signal to the universe that is peaceful. It's this energy of like, universe, I know all things are interconnected. I know that you are supporting my best and highest good. I'm ready for a love that meets me where I am. But nothing outside of that. Let's see. Any other... I'm not going to take any more paid readings, Myra. Final insight into who this person will be. So, yeah, this is definitely someone who you're going to get excited to create this new cycle with. For some of you, you may feel a little bit of discomfort just because it feels too good. Some of you are like, is this too good to be true? Why is this collective thinking is too good to be true. Yeah, you're not used to people matching your energy. You're not used to people being able to drop their garden ego and like actually accommodating for you and like making time for you and like seeing you and acknowledging you. Damn, I don't want to laugh at that because it's a little bit sad, but we've all been there. But here's the thing. Here's the thing I want you to know. Sometimes that's because you are just too big, too expansive, too powerful, too dynamic. So it's like the universe had to put some checks and balances along the way to slow you down a little bit. So that's the extent where finally when you did step into your true power, that you would be able to do so in a way in which your ego and your intuition was also balanced, right? And I do see that you were attracting in a partner that's meeting you where you are now. It's like you're powerful, but it feels like up until this time you didn't know that or see that. You have a lot to offer, but I feel for many of you, you've suppressed that and repressed that because you felt like it was too much. And now you're realizing it was just too much for the wrong energies. For most of you, like I said, I feel like you're meeting this person in the near future. I'm seeing a lot of you meeting this person by the end of March. I'm seeing for a lot of you that this is somebody who's going to take you by surprise. Okay? Final advice for this collective. Dang. I want you to look out for signs and reminders, synchronicities that point you to knowing that this person is incoming soon. Okay? For some of you might start to see bluebirds specifically. Monarch butterflies. There's something about bubbles. I know that's a very specific confirmation. Okay? Rainbows. I'm seeing white feathers. But this is this energy of like a reset, a letting go of all of the narratives that maybe you taught yourself to believe in order to fully let the right person in. And when they come in, here's one more confirmation, okay? This person is going to feel peaceful to you. This person is going to make you feel like you don't have to go outside of what feels peaceful or any type of sense of just feeling at ease. I feel like this is somebody who's going to contribute to that. They'll foster that sense of feeling at ease. That is an additional confirmation. Okay? So I hope that message was helpful for my singles collective, sending so much love, positive energy, and abundance. If you enjoyed that message below, drop 1212 to let me know that you're ready. She be